good.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to mute that.
All right, everybody. Yeah, I guess just mute your stream. Hey, and we're live. How's everybody doing?
Hello, hello. Doing
Doing
good.
great.
Yeah,
The Scrubs
doing
are
pretty
back with a new face. We have Rengaw on
Hi,
now.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. I think is this your first time on a dojo stream?
I did a couple lessons with David.
Oh,
but
okay.
Thursday night lessons, and he doesn't have my face on there.
Okay.
Gotcha.
With Thursday
Gotcha.
nights. Interesting. Okay. Cool.
I always miss those anyway because they start at like midnight my time, so I never actually get to watch them.
Yeah, I did 2 of them with him. He kind of gave me a training program, sort of. It was fun.
So, did you want to, in that vein, did you want to kind of like introduce yourself, tell us how you got into chess, and I don't know, something else kind of fun, whatever,
Your chestery.
Exactly.
Well, like a lot of people, I learned how to move the pieces as a kid and maybe played in a little scholastic tournament, but never really took it seriously until I was in my 20s, early 20s. My roommate upstairs, he asked me like, oh, I saw that he had a chessboard. And I'm like, oh, you want to play? He's like, yeah, totally. So we played and he's like, I'm playing the dragon. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that there were names to these things. So then I found out that another one of our buddies was like a 1800 USCF player, and that there's like all this stuff to learn. So I immediately got into it, got super hard into it, and just kind of played casually 5-0 in coffee shops and bars, and 5-0 online, 1-0 online for many, many years. And now I'm trying to get better and play over the board. I played in this tournament a couple of months ago, and I'm going to play in another one at the end of October.
Speaking of over the board, I actually had a question here for Seth. Denver has a open coming up in 2 weekends. Will you be playing, Seth?
I've been hearing you guys talk about it, but I don't see it on
It's not on the Denver Chess Club. It's on like the Colorado Chess Association.
It's a super secretive invitational.
Oh my God.
You have to know somebody.
Thing I have to.
It's like not. Yeah, it's not Denver Chess Club.
Is it another thing I have to pay dues to?
You guys play together?
Probably.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, do you guys play together at the same club?
We do.
Me and Drew do, yeah. Tuesday nights.
We actually got paired at Seth's first OTB game.
I'd be in first place if I had won that stupid thing too.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, Drew had to bring it back up.
But I was complete the most winning game ever to be lost.
It was kind of painful for all parties involved.
Yeah, but we are playing. We've been playing at the Denver Chess Club the last few Tuesdays since that's sort of Tuesday nights is sort of their night, and it had been for years before like I ever got involved, and then it had been closed for a long time with COVID, and so it just recently started back up. So yeah,
that's
been
cool.
fun.
What time control you guys play over there?
70-minute games
with a 5-second increment or delay.
Delay.
Okay.
My opponent
70 minutes with 5-minute delay. Is that common?
5 seconds.
I'm sorry, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Is that common?
It's
what I learned is that apparently USCF is for their smaller tournaments is more likely to do delay. FIDE is all increment, and with the bigger tournaments in the US, they play increment. But if you play smaller USCF, there's a much more of a likelihood that you'll be playing delay rather than increment.
Well, and also like last game we used my opponent's clock for the first time, and he's a kid and he set it to increment, and I realized it during the game, but it's like, who cares? I don't think it would like invalidate our result, or anything.
Well, especially since you won.
Well, yeah, with plenty of time to spare. He's like moved instantly every time. He would write his move down first and then just
he'd write his move down first.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. I've never played over the board, so
I would just see him. He would like look at the board for a second, write then as soon as he started writing, he was moving. But it was just like pretty quickly every time. No, I remember during the game, I thought he just put it with no anything because I was like, this clock seems weird. And then I looked at it during his move, and I noticed it wasn't waiting 5 seconds. It just started ticking right away, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, and I like whispered, I'm like, did you put the delay? And like he didn't hear me because it's like we're not supposed to talk. And then I saw, and then I'm like, oh, I bet he just has those increment. And then I paid attention when I hit the clock, and I noticed it went up 5 seconds. So I was like, all right.
So Rengo, what kind of time controls do you play when you're playing OTB in your tournaments?
The one I played at was 105 minutes with a 5-second delay, and that's what the next one is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a long time.
Yeah, that's my speed.
I've never done that before, so I can't say it's not my speed because I've never tried it, but I don't think I have the patience.
I do appreciate that on Tuesday nights that like the idea that a game will be done in a more reasonable amount of time since people got to work and stuff, especially me, like school starting this week, and it's like school starts at 7:30, and so I gotta wake up at the butt crack of dawn every day. So I do appreciate that games are not going to be going to like midnight,
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, Derek, I just wanted to check on some Chess Dojo rules. We're talking about OTB right now, and I know that the dojo is sponsored by chess.com, so I just wanted to make sure that we're not.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think chess.com's okay with OTB.
No. Chess.com is competing with trying
People
to
All right, I'm gonna
in
try
real
it.
life.
I'm gonna try it. All right, OTB. All right, it worked. All right, let me try something. Lee. It didn't work. Okay. All right, I guess we're okay with OTB. All right, yeah.
Pretty good.
That's okay. Jesse's just throwing out a Chessable now anyway.
Yeah. In ancient medicine, they used to use leeches. Do you know that? They used leeches.
Yeah.
I did suck the bad stuff out. Also, Willem Dafoe did in Speed 2, if I recall correctly. He was using leeches.
Speed
Wow.
2.
I only saw the first one.
I mean, Drew missed out on our classic movie references that we were making last week, where we were discussing.
They couldn't even get Keanu for Speed 2.
I mean, it was a runaway cruise ship. How was they going to get Keanu Reeves?
Oh no! I only have the whole ocean to navigate my out-of-control boat. What will I do?
Actually, Keanu is my karaoke stage name, so just saying.
Oh my gosh, a karaoke stage name. We just hit a new level right now.
Last week when you guys were going over like the Will Smith filmography, and like Rosenberg was just gonna give you the smackdown, you were just sitting there talking about Will Smith and I was like, God, this is gonna be bad.
All right, well, because we knew Evan was going to destroy us, but so we knew we couldn't prove our chess skills, but we could prove our Will Smith filmography knowledge. So I mean, I know way more about Will Smith than I do about chess. And on that note, I see a comment from Shank, who is the best chess player among you four, and I'm pretty sure that's safe to say that's you, Rengo.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess so.
I mean, you don't have to guess. It is. You're like 1800. Is that what roughly or something?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of stopped playing online, but I have like 1800 Rapid and Blitz and Bullet on a few different accounts and stuff.
And the other three of us are in like the 14 to 1500 ish range, somewhere around there. So
man, I got so close to 1500 last weekend. I was like 1498, and then I've dropped down to like 1460 again.
I'm feeling good right now. I haven't played like Rapid in 2 weeks, but like I'm in like the mid 1500s. I'm feeling good about it. So I'm hoping maybe I can get to 1600 sometime soon if I commit.
Yeah, going on.
Well, speaking of,
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, speaking of improvement, I think we could definitely move into our task for today.
Yeah,
which is something that Renga brought up for us, and it's the roots of positional understanding by Jerry Silman. Put together some positional puzzles on chess.com, and I think it would be fun if you would introduce us to this course
Our
and let us
mission
know
should
what
we
it's all
choose to
about.
accept.
Exactly.
I think this is something that Seth's really gonna like. Because Seth is
Yeah.
always talking about like backwards pawns and weak squares and stuff like that. And, like, trying to-
and then like hanging my pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what they mean. He just likes those phrases.
And Drew's always trying to like win people's pieces and do this stuff. And so he, this might be a little bit different.
Mhm.
But probably a cool exposure at least.
Yeah. So you said you've gone through some of these. I know. This is me on my screen. I went through maybe the first, I don't know, 10 or however many that was, but I probably went through these like a year or two ago before I was probably prepared to. So ignore the fact that I've actually done these. I don't remember a single one of them. It was just me screwing around on my iPad probably. So this will be a good thing to go back and start over. And you've gone through a good chunk of these so far, or just randomly?
So I have like the normal kind of like the cheapest membership, the Star or whatever. So I was getting 3 lessons a week, and I did them for the last like 11 weeks. But then Dritman did this thing where he needed some people to do product testing, and I got a diamond membership for doing said product testing. And then I did a pile more. So I've done maybe 100 of these. I'm somewhere in like the Karpov series. Like if you scroll down, there's a point where it's just all these different Karpov games. So
And it looks like there's
Very
like,
cool.
what did it say? Like 280 something. Oh, here we are.
yeah, so I'm somewhere in there. I just did that. Yeah, I'm somewhere in there.
Okay.
So do these go up in difficulty, or are they all probably on the same level?
They're I think more organized, not by difficulty. Like this is the Karpov series, and there's
Looks like then
other-
there's Fisher. So
Okay.
they're just kind of organized by categories.
Nice.
It looks like at the beginning there's some kind of introductory stuff.
I'm wondering if I should do that. I was doing I have started and I intermittently returned to Helson's Mastering Chess Strategy book, and
I'm about to start that back up too.
I'd like to get back. I'd like to like do that regularly, like keep myself on some sort of. Like, I wonder though. I just saw it like made available. I've made available on like Chessable, and I'm like, I already have the physical book, and I like you want to justify that purchase, but I was like, should I get the Chessable and just start doing it? Like I don't know. It's just with the things already set for you, and you just can play through them. And I was like wondering, if maybe using these chess.com like this Silman course would be more.
Yeah, I got
a more efficient use of my time anyway.
I got Mastering Chess Strategy on Forward Chess a while back, and then I realized it was probably a little bit too advanced, so I paused that, went back and read Winning Chess Strategies, and now I'm almost done with Simple Chess, and then my plan is to start back up the Mastering Chess Strategy, which I don't know if Neil Bruce is still in the chat. He was actually recommending that same kind of sequence too on Twitter. I just saw in the last week, so I'm happy that I'm following that method. But yeah, these would probably be good to throw in.
This is one that some people like. That's not as hard as the Helston books, but
That's actually what I'm working through right now.
I bought that a while back on Chessable, and it's the only strategy I have on Chessable. So I'm curious to see, because I didn't really like it initially, but I also think I was again starting something too early. So that's good to know. So I want to try that, start that back up then.
I don't
It
know.
was
maybe
actually
I'm-
recommended to me by Kostya at the Las Vegas tournament because I had some winnings getting the plus score. And so I used some of that credit to buy that very book based on Kostya's recommendation. So,
Yeah, and
pretty
I don't mind doing stuff that's like a little above my level. I feel like still the most learning I do is just from playing and then studying my games and trying to analyze. And so I just I think that but maybe maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe I would get, it would, because like I have maybe some patience to a fault. Like I could be getting more out of things that are a little more at my level, that I could exercises I could do and like are more reasonable amount of time and stuff.
Well,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
I've heard people say
Hard
that.
to
So
say.
like I'm kind of the
But
same way.
also
I'm
it's
not.
like challenging yourself seems like also good. It's like it's not like the ideas are so complicated I don't understand them. I'm like, this is like gibberish. It's just difficult.
That's why, like, I actually, I'm the same way. I don't mind taking a book that's supposed to be harder. I kind of enjoy doing that. And I've heard a lot of people say, you know, you can do that and you're still going to get stuff out of it. It just maybe isn't quite as efficient of spending your time getting something to your level. But if you don't care and you just enjoy it, then who the hell cares? Just do whatever you want, because you'll get something out of it.
I think there's a lot of, especially like taking advice from non-titled players like us. Like I'm 1800 and trying to give advice to a 1400 or something like that. Like I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right.
All this about like, oh, you need to do this book before you do this book, or you can't do this because this is too hard. Like I have a buddy who's 1700chess.com, and he really likes the Gelfand series. He spends a lot of time with it, and he likes it, and he gets stuff out of it. But people are like, oh, that's a 2000 book.
Yeah.
Like
And
you gotta do something and like it.
It's funny because what the title players say, like, what David says to us is like, well, you need to do what's going to be like motivating for you to do, basically.
Yeah.
Well, Ludwig's working through his Dvoretsky Endgame manual, so that's going well for him.
That's true.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, and that's on that note, maybe we should just jump into at least open up a puzzle.
Yeah.
So
Let's do it.
Scrubs haven't done a puzzle. Should I just open up the first one? Thematic opening ideas. Put Gelfand down. So the very first puzzle, I actually did look at this one yesterday or 2 days ago, just because I couldn't remember what this was all about. So I guess we'll just kind of open it up and see what it looks like.
Oh man, that's type is going to be really small.
I usually like try to first look at the position myself. Like I do this on hard mode. I look at the position first myself, and I try to evaluate like what's going on for both sides and what they want and what are the ideas. Then I read try to come up with a move. Then I read the text, and I kind of use that as a hint, because the text will give you a little bit of sense of like what you may be wanting to do.
So can we assume that when the board is just always oriented towards the color to move? Is that just
in this case, it's black to move. Yeah.
And it's always just one move. Like we're not.
Oh, it actually says there right there, black to move. Yeah, I see that.
We're just looking for one move.
But not the plan associated with it. Like I'm always thinking the Helston puzzles are always like, give me your move and like a short plan for white.
Well, it usually says things like, well, yes, this move makes sense because we're going to follow it with blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha.
But we don't actually have to like crunch the variations on the board.
Gotcha.
So going through these, my proposal is that we each first think about it for a little bit, and then we explain some of our ideas. Then we read through the text, and then we vote on a move, and then we let it play.
You want to do like think, pair, share. You want to teacher talking.
You're gonna have to explain that to us as the educator here.
Yeah.
Just like usually you'll say, all right, do some private thinking time, then talk to like your partner, then we share as a class.
Yep, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Except that we get to talk over each other. It'll be really
exactly.
Fun.
But so you want like should we time it like a minute of private reasoning time? Doing more
something like that. And I'll just say for Stayman that these are the Roots of Positional Understanding by Silman on chess.com.
And I said before, and this holds true for most of the puzzles, it's not like about winning material, but sometimes it is.
I think it wouldn't be so bad if we started with just like not the plan, but like the features of the position. Maybe.
Yeah, no, totally. I agree.
Talking about that, like, or well, maybe actually we can just have our discussion. Why don't we?
Each person contributes whatever they choose to contribute in the conversation at that point.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
and let me read to everybody, just because I don't have the text because it's kind of small and it's awkward to fit on the screen, just roughly. So it's black to move. And roughly what the text is: in the opening, white achieves a nice pawn center. However, an interesting tactical idea is common. So what move makes black's defense easier? White's center appears to give him a slight edge. However, black's next move abruptly changes the evaluation. So basically, what move can black make that challenges white's seemingly solid center?
I do like the idea of maybe we do need just the hints right away for the sake of this stream. I would like the idea. of trying.
Isn't E5 a pretty great candidate right now? Because basically you're challenging that, and then
See, I would like to just start with. Well, I mean, I guess
no.
the
E5
hint
doesn't he
sort of
just
gives
push
you
the pawn and then it
features of
kind
the
of just
position.
locks down the center?
actually takes. We actually lose a pawn, so that's terrible.
don't lose
Oh
a
yeah,
pawn.
that too.
You don't lose a pawn.
You can probably play knight takes e4 there, just like in the King's Indian.
But that's protected by the knight on c4.
But then your
Yeah.
bishop's attacking e5. It's like a standard trick in the King's Indian.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, Drew.
E5 takes, knight takes, then you get knight takes e4, and you're hitting both knight. You're like,
Okay.
but this is. So I know these. I did this.
I know
one,
this
like,
one because I just looked at it yesterday.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I only know
Alright,
the
well,
move.
no,
I didn't
we-
actually look into it in
We
depth
can
to
do
understand
some-
it. So
we can do some that are fresh to all of us after this one.
Yeah.
yeah, well, all of them after this one will be fresh to me. So
Oh, okay.
It's like
All right. Yeah, we'll do.
because this is
Alright.
like a. Did any of you guys play the King's Indian as black?
I
I'm
do.
playing it.
I
No,
tried,
it's
but I'm
white.
terrible.
It's
yeah,
white.
I do, and this is kind of the position that I know is common, and it's kind of the reason why I don't really know what I'm doing. Why I don't focus on the openings too much because I play
I
the
like
King's
the
Indian. I don't
center.
fully understand this move.
The difference between this and the King's Indian is there's no pawn on c4. There's a bishop on c4. So that might like
I mean,
be
that is a
something
way
to
of-
notice in the position for the black pieces to. Well, how is the position different because of this?
Right. There's no C4. So
And I think chat too is welcome to chime in because we're not.
yeah.
This could be a group effort.
Uh,
I mean,
I think C5 is a good way of thematic way of challenging white's center. C5 followed by E6. You know, if they try to close it. And
So it's a C
because-
C5 and then E6, but then isn't E6 whatever? Then they can just take from
Mhm.
D5.
but
with the after they
but they're
closed it.
they've become pretty no, I'm sorry. C5.
that rook
I'm
gets
saying
developed too, which is pretty nice. But the light squared bishop is blocked.
I
in.
personally would like to play
I don't know.
C5, especially with the fianchetto dark square bishop, so the dark square pawn chain. But C5, and then you get the knight behind it on C6,
I like
and
that.
you can challenge. And then if they play D5, you know, which seems logical unless I'm missing something. That's like the tactical reason why. But
There is a tactical reason, and so
This is
don't
a
look at
bad
chat
problem
yet
to
if you
start
don't
with.
want to hear it immediately.
okay, so a
could-
tactical problem with
Really good puzzle to
C5.
start
Well,
Yeah.
the answer is
I
kind of a
haven't calculated it.
tactical issue.
Okay, I haven't calculated C5, but just like as a candidate, that would be a strong one for me. C5 with the plan of if D5 playing E6 to challenge white's center, and like eventually it breaks and we can undermine it and carve out some space for our pieces. But
yeah, like E5 and C5 are kind
Conversation
of
with a move like
two different
C5.
ways to play, but the reason I don't like this one is because there's something else to do here.
right. Okay, yeah.
And this
So
is
just
this
there's a better move. Like it's not like
Well,
this is a bad
The hint
move.
did
There's
say
just a
that
better
we
move.
have like a tactical resource to sort of strike.
it's actually a move that I have gotten burned on constantly. I never see this tactic. I can never spot this. So let me
It's
just
not like taking on
Oh.
E4, is it?
Knight
Yeah.
takes C4, and then you have
Yeah.
D5.
yep,
Knight
that's it.
takes E4 and then center fork trick. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
I get hit with that constantly, and I never learned my lesson.
This
They-
is why the bishop being on C4
That's
is
like
important here.
Right. That's like an Italian thing that happened, right? The center
yeah.
fork trick, right?
yeah.
Chess numbers played this as black, or in the Italian, we played knight takes E4 today in the sub battle.
Oh, yeah.
nice. I missed a lot of that.
So I'll give
That's
Chess Latte. He was the first one to call it out in chat. So he got that.
Yeah.
Yep, it's just a simple take the pawn. If they take Fork City.
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
Mhm.
you know, it's still playable for white.
Yeah, whenever I've gotten burned with that and looked at it in
I don't know what you'd say.
in the end, it's
burn.
not like a lost position. It's just
Yeah.
Just gives
I mean, you're
black
lo-
an easier time.
mhm.
Really? And like, w- what makes that position stronger for black than say
Well,
c5 or e5?
Well,
It
Like,
gives black
you've
instant
ruined the center
equality.
control that white had in the first place.
yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
this center destroying combination is a common theme.
okay.
So
I guess
basically,
it's a more direct approach than my idea.
yeah, it even
So,
says it at the end. The resulting position would offer chances for both sides. So it's not saying it's just like a lost position. They're just saying it just kind of ate away at what white already had.
Wait, but is there a reason to say that C5 was? I mean, C5 seemed like a pretty nice move, anyways, right? Like we're not like saying that it's that much stronger to go down this route, right? Like significantly.
I'm
Is there a
guessing that it
justification?
is. I'm guessing that it is.
Is there a
It's
significant
nice
like?
to take center pawns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah. C5 then.
But then again,
D5.
you, like you're still gonna remove black center pawn too in the or white's gonna remove black center pawn too in the long run after the pawn takes, I would assume. So
Mhm.
it's not like that's just trading center pawns, right? You're not like removing theirs, although they
That's
are already in the middle.
That's why, yeah. I
But
always
C5
like to
does
attack.
challenge that thing. And if you
I don't know
close,
too.
I would point out that if you close and you play D5 to close it out, then that bishop becomes really strong. Look, your fianchetto bishop is now active and has like that whole diagonal open.
Yeah, that's sort
Like-
of it's sort of a common theme in King's Indian if you're trying to, especially the King's Indian I play, because I usually play I always play, I should say, the Averbach system against it, because and that sort of like black's main idea is often to just counterattack on the king side and play for activity that way. But against the Averbach, it's more sound for black to try to play positionally and try to open up that sort of King's Indian bishop that can be bad. So yeah, I don't know. But I think
Yeah,
but I mean I take them at their word that they know more that
That's what Stamen said. We can argue about the solutions all day long, but we'll just have to accept Stillman's analysis.
sure.
So,
sure.
I mean,
Rengar,
the learning point is to know why. Like
Yeah.
it's not really like I'm clearly he's gonna be right. I'm not saying he's wrong. I just want to
But-
be able to feel it out.
So the
that's where I
difference is
come from.
right, if we're playing as black there and white has a center, we're like looking to equalize, right?
Mhm.
And I think Stillman's arguing that black has in that is in
Yep.
that variation, whereas our variation maybe not so clear. Maybe still white has this maybe because of the tempi or whatever it took for us to challenge it in the other way instead of the more direct approach, that white's able to build the position in other ways.
That makes sense. I like that. That's a good way to put it.
all right,
Yeah.
Rengar, do you want to go in order? Or do you want to try to skip down so you can see some fresh
We
stuff?
should skip to one that I haven't done because
Yeah, that's fair. That's
because
what I figured.
So the last one I did was Karpov versus Gligorich.
Right there,
I actually
or is there another one?
there might be a different one.
I see. Oh yeah.
Maybe you can control F for Gligorich.
Milan, 1975.
What's F?
Karpov Unzicker.
Can you stop moving it for a sec so I can look at the board? No, that's not the one. Is there a different Gligorich one?
There are 5 instances of Gligorich, so there's only 2 games.
Looks like there's 2 Gligoriches.
Yeah, so there's this one, Karpov Gligorich, Leningrad, 1973.
Okay, that one is not the one I'm thinking about.
And then this is the only other Gligorich one.
Yeah, I just did that one.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
on the Unzicker one.
Unzicker.
Unziker.
Let's go with that.
Milan.
So we got a
Okay.
Karpov Unzicker.
Hey, this is the same year. This is probably the same tournament, by the way. So
Yeah.
just heads up.
Milan.
Kasparov in
I
Italy.
guess if somebody wants to read it, and then maybe we all just take a, think, pair, share, or whatever.
Yeah, I'll read it if it's too small for you guys. This is white to move. So though Karpov won the game quickly, it's important to build the attack in an accurate manner. How did the legendary 12th world champion handle this position? White's spatial plus in the center makes it hard for black to achieve adequate counterplay. Since he has two knights on the king's side and both bishops also aim in that direction, one might assume that white's correct plan is based on a king's side assault. Is that correct? So he's got bunch of bishops of both bishops pointing that way. Is a king's side assault correct, or is there something better?
On this one. Yeah.
So this is fresh to all of our eyes. None of us know what's happening here. And Chad is more than welcome to give us your analysis too.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have moves, but I'm not, we're going to sit here and think for a while, right?
Yeah. We can think. And you can talk too. I won't be offended.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's good to, from what I've seen done, is like to just say like what's going on in the position. What are the strengths and
one of the things that's really good in these exercises, particularly, and a lot of times because if you make the wrong move, then it'll tell you like move was bad because of X, Y, and Z. And the hint will tell you stuff too. And a lot of times these hints and these why your move is bad has to do with piece quality. So one thing that, viewers that are having a hard time might want to do is kind of look at each piece for both sides and try to figure out if it's good or bad and how is it going to be improved or where does it want to live later.
Right. Yeah, like talk to your pieces, right? See where they want to go. Are they happy where they are?
Yeah, that's what the under the surface guy talks about, right?
Yeah, I've heard David use that terminology too, and Jesse.
My buddy uses that. So Karpov decided to close down the center with d5 in this position, gaining some space. I don't know how much you guys know about Karpov's Roy Lopez games, because he played e4 when he was younger, and then he played d4 when he was older.
Right. This looks Benoni-ish almost.
I mean, this to me looks like a Roy Lopez.
Yeah.
And there's a common kind of.
I guess it's because I played d4.
Yeah. Fair.
Well,
You got that d4 guy over here.
The knight on f1 is doing nothing, so I did want to say maybe he's got a future and we could try to at least get a little bit more piece activity in some direction.
Wouldn't say doing
I'm
nothing.
thinking about knight d3, e3, and then looking at knight g4.
A knight on f1 is a common defensive.
Yeah, that's
no. He's just removing. He's gonna.
Yeah, I know he's probably
go to
just
G3
rerouting it.
E3.
Yeah,
he's fine.
Right. Yeah, I agree, but I just
that's always been my thought, is seeing that knight like that. It looks like it's dead, but I've seen it enough now where and when I'm playing through games where they put it there, and so I've kind of just come to terms with it that's okay.
But they put it there to put it somewhere else, and so maybe that's kind of the point. Hey, we need to maneuver it so that it does something. Right?
Certainly,
that piece already has two potential destinations that are good. There might be some pieces that we have that don't have destinations currently.
I think the light square bishop is our.
That's what I was thinking about first. Is that because the e4 pawn is kind of blocking all of its attack on the king side.
But we also could want to. The dark square bishop, I think, is really strong, but we might and is arguably developed. However, moving it though could help us connect our rooks and bring that rook on the a1 rook into the game. So there's, I know that the hint is asking us which side of the board we want to play on.
Right, and neither against this a6 b5 action. There's a common move that white has in a lot of positions. A4. My question is can we play that move or not? That would be the first thing I would look at.
Should we go for a4?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Well, protected and if taken on a4, then it's only once defended.
I mean, if they take on a4, then it's just good.
Yep.
Right, because then that helps our rook. The rook in the corner is currently doing jack.
Right, that's a good way to develop it. Right, I'm talking about bringing if the square bishop's already good.
What is going on with your screen, Derek?
Oh wait, you can see that. Sorry, I forgot. Stream can't see it. You guys can. I was trying to lower my mic. Somebody was saying my mic is a little hot.
Okay. I was what is that?
Yeah. Yeah. So A4, I agree is looks strong as long, I don't see any tactical issues with it.
But is it like what we want to be doing?
Right, right. So the plan, I guess, then with A4.
We're just trying
Yeah.
to open up our rook with A4.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
Oh.
in chat
Wait,
and board drop,
so
you can
what
tell
if-
me if my mic sounds a little bit better by any by also. But so I keep seeing in chat kind of like an A4 or an F4 push to try to open stuff up.
F4 would be the
then-
king
if
side
A4
play.
if A4 then B4, right? From black.
Possibly.
And just bypass that pawn, and you're not developing the rook. Takes.
But then maybe we have knight E3 to C5 later or something. It gives us a nice square to.
That's
Okay.
true. Yeah, so we're carving out
then
either
we-
way you're making
E4.
progress.
Well, I do see that they're like black could easily get those rooks on B and C. So if we try to open up the queen side, then there is like black is faster to attack on like the B and C files. So that could be of concern, right?
They could be they could be overextended though too. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
we're also like
Overextended by putting them on B8 and C8.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the rooks. The
Oh,
black
I thought you were
rooks
talking
can
about
back up on over B and C, which basically gives like so as soon as you start to open up that queen side, those rooks can easily get in and
Well, there's
start to
been-
create real pressure on the queen side.
Wherever the pawn trades are, that's where the rooks are going to want to go.
I mean,
So we
But
don't
I'm just
know.
saying that
Nordic
I'm just
has a
saying it's
good point
easy
here.
to see that side open more easily for black than it is for white. That's
I
kind of
see.
what that's kind of my
Okay.
point.
This is a very good point because black has connected rooks. Like we're still 2 moves
Uh-huh.
away from connected rooks,
Yeah,
and it is easy for them to do that. So
sure. White's advantage is
question is,
space, right?
maybe we need to maybe F4 is a better idea because of what Nordovik is saying here.
Mhm. We still have the problem. Yeah, F4. It gives our yeah. Right.
It's just-
If
it's
they
just another
take,
idea.
obviously it gives our it. The problem with F4 though is we don't have the rook on F1. F4, right? A4 develops a rook. F4 does not.
What about the plan? What about the plan of bishop to G5 with the plan of knight to G4, some sort of thing like that?
Yeah,
Knight to
but F4
G4
does
is-
help start to connect our rooks though, if they
but-
trade because we can get
I
that
think the
bishop
knight
out.
on D4 is not sufficiently defended.
We just assume that they don't take though. We'll assume they'll play something else, like something that doesn't hurt their position.
Yeah.
If they don't take on F, right, we're gonna take on E5 for sure. It's not,
And then we can get that bishop out.
But again, then you're gonna want to put your rook back on F1 if you do that.
Why not just put the bishop out first and then put the F4 behind it?
I
What
don't.
do you-
I think. Well, either way,
Then they
Drew,
then
we
they
have to
could take, and then we just have to move our
I don't know
bishop
if
again.
I think the
Which is
question
fine because then we've opened up the king side. We've got two bishops and
I
a rook
just-
that's seeing the e file, semi-open e file. We have the two knights coming in. That I like that for white.
Hey, thanks for the raid, Crybaby
just
Carly.
I don't like playing F4 when I've already used a move to get my rook on the E file.
I don't like playing F4 either, just because it feels like it's weakening our king on that diagonal. It feels like we have central pawns that are pointing towards the queen side. I feel like I'm Karpov, who's like playing a positional game and wants to probably open the queen side. Like that's why my intuition first like led me to this A4 idea. But I haven't honestly, I've not been sitting here like crunching variations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing that,
All right.
but we need to crunch variations if we're going to pick a move.
Mm-hmm. So okay, so right now we both like A4 and F4 seem to be the leading candidates from our discussion.
But so you guys
so
don't
far.
like bishop
or
G5?
bishop G5. Sorry, I didn't mean to poo-poo.
I don't like
G5,
bishop D5.
but
don't?
Yeah.
It's something that I would probably normally play.
I don't.
Which is why
I
it's
don't think it's
probably not that
Drew.
strong.
I don't think it's clear that the bishop is doing much on g5.
I'm just thinking it forces black to open up their king side, maybe. Like that's kind of my main thing. Like that
I
they
think
can
it's going to
like,
lead to our bishop getting traded.
but
which we
that
don't
that
want.
could be fine if we have compensation for like for semi-open files with the rooks and the queen and the knights. Like
Bishop
that's nice.
g5. What about knight takes e5 or knight takes e4 after bishop g5?
Knight
Yeah,
takes
or-
e4, then you
Then
bishop
then you
takes
take
bishop.
the then you take the knight and you like
Oh, yeah,
pop your
never
knight
mind,
over to
never mind. You just take, you have to take the bishop
I mean,
first,
He
but
could,
yeah.
if Black wanted to play it slow, you could play your bishop g5. He could play king g7, and then he can play h6, and he's
Mhm.
just living on the 7th rank instead of the 8th. And
Mm.
I don't think bishop g5 does enough. A lot of the times in these puzzles, it's something that
Yeah, that's why I kind of said it. That's a move I would totally make. I'm like, oh, I'm developing my bishop. I'm getting it out there, but it doesn't do enough for this kind of positional puzzle. Or, yeah, I guess it is a positional puzzle. So
I think it's just not clear. I don't think it's necessarily bad. I think it's just not clear that g5 is the square that
yeah,
it should go on. So I think we can be flexible with it.
PB Corpora. What about knight takes d5 after? Yeah, that's what I think I marked that.
Yeah, knight
What
takes
about
d5
knight
is-
takes d5? Because then if you take,
Yeah, that's right. And then he can back up with
then
the
you
knight. and get
then you
the-
win a
yeah.
pawn, right?
That's the tactic that I was trying to put together. Yes, Derek, that actually works. Not taking on e4. Yeah, take on d5, and then
Yeah.
and then no matter what you do, yeah, you're
Because yeah, and that's something that I've gotten burned before. I'm like, I do that, and then they play back, and then if I take the bishop, then the knight covers it.
Yeah, so it doesn't. It does.
b4 is a move too.
So
So
somebody mentioned b4.
b4
I
is a
think
move,
b4 just lets them lock it down.
but then maybe we can play a4. Like,
Mhm.
is that what we want? I don't like.
What does a4 get us though?
B4 A4 develops the rook in the corner.
Yeah.
You can. Whoops.
Yeah, but I mean, it's only really developed if you take, and then if you take, then their rook is developed.
So what if they don't take? So what should we let's crunch a
Yeah.
variation. Let's look at a4. Let's crunch a variation. So a4.
A4
If they take, I think we're happy.
Yeah,
right, but a4 b4.
clearly.
A4 b4. Then the question is, are we happy that we can go stick a knight on the c4 square, or do we want to play c takes b? Like these are the two things that we have to think about here,
Yeah.
probably.
So A4,
You wanna open this
B4,
file?
and then knight E3 to C4.
Maybe. Right. That's one idea.
And also the question in chat for some people that are joining late, you can't see the text. So why do anything on the queen side when we want the king side? That's kind of the question of the puzzle. It's asking us which one is better, whether we should continue on the king side, or is there more that we can be accomplished on the queen side?
It
Knight-
does seem like
Knight c4 can be challenged by a knight on a5.
A what?
So,
So
like that,
let's
Knight
play
E5.
variation.
Yeah.
So all right. So this is after a4, b4.
or,
knight E3.
knight e3, knight a5.
Ugh.
I'm happy with you sticking your knight on the side.
Knight
of
on
the board. I haven't even
A5.
played knight.
But I
haven't
mean,
even
your
played-
knights are also on the side of the board. Like,
Yeah, but
The knight doesn't
E3
have
is
to
a
go
nice
to
square play
C4.
B,
Yeah, but
and,
this guy
you know,
can get over pretty quick, and
Yeah.
if he needs to.
And now we could.
But then there's also after knight a5, there's also bishop to b5, which could then secure your own knight onto c4. You could actually then just force that knight
No,
on.
we haven't.
onto
No, we
C4.
can kick it. We can
We
kick it.
haven't
though.
committed our B pawn.
Yeah. We can kick it. Also, if we bring the knight to E3, then we do
That's
have
probably one.
control of G4. Like we could bring a knight to G4 because right now, if you wanted to play knight G4 earlier, Drew, right? But we don't have enough defense of it.
PB Corporeal, I made that joke enough last time. I was afraid Seth was going to yell at me if I made a can I kick it joke.
Chat's probably telling us that we're terrible and we don't have no understanding of what's going on. Because I'm only looking at the Zoom
They're
right
kind
now.
of
I'm
torn.
not-
I feel like chat's kind of torn. They're kind of fighting.
Yeah, I think the hint is clearly saying like it looks like you should be playing king.
Oh, he made that trap
Inside,
called
but-
press joke.
Have you guys done the hint? Wait, did you say you
Like,
checked the
ooh.
hint?
Oh no, no,
Mhm.
the not the hint, the prologue or whatever.
Oh yeah. Because I haven't hit the hint. Do you think I should?
No,
Do you think
no.
we spent enough time where we should hit a
Yeah,
hint?
I
Or?
mean, are you guys
Wait, should we
convinced
try
that
a move?
A4 is not the move?
Yeah,
Should
try
we
a
try
move.
a move of A4?
Do you
Yeah.
think that A4 is the move?
I
Like,
still
with
think that
90% certainty?
F4.
I'm not sure if I think I would still vote for F4 over A4 if I were to vote, but
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
Ursus,
play
they're
a-
saying like they're because see some people are still trying to fight for F4, and I think that can be played at any point coming up. I don't know if
Do-
that's the critical move right now though.
Play a
think it-
variation with F4.
Let me just say one thing here that I believe that instead of just trying A4 or F4, if we're not certain, we should hit the hint button instead.
Okay.
No, I'm good with that.
Let's do it. All right, the correct idea is F2 F4.
What?
Well, hold
That's
on.
the
All right.
worst
It says hold on. The correct idea is F2 F4,
Oh, knight
but
H5.
white must first stop black from playing knight to H5.
Oh, with my
Wow.
original idea of developing the knight on F1, but to G3 this time.
Yeah, knight G3.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'd be so pissed if Drew was right from the very beginning.
Well, was
No,
that his
it was
first? I don't remember knight G3.
That was the first thing I said.
I think that
let's
was like the
develop
first
the
thing you
knight on
said was
F1.
developing this knight.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we didn't like commit to a how.
I like how you guys are mad when I'm right.
I'm-
Yeah.
I'm
If we're
not.
gonna
All
if we're
right.
gonna stop knight H5, knight G3 is better than playing G4.
G4 is
Yeah,
way
that-
too committal.
That seems crazy to me, right?
Although people in someone in the chat's celebrating like woo, G4.
Wait,
I
are you,
don't
are you,
think so. I don't think so.
I mean,
I
knight
mean,
G3 is such a common move
I'm
in
the
these
wrong word, but
positions.
I think
Or they like that plan, huh? All right.
so,
yeah,
the-
Drew's,
so
Drew is right on with this one. He's like, the queen side is opening that is not
I
good because
suppose
black's gonna
F4,
work
yeah,
some
because I'm all thinking that like your rook isn't on F1, but I guess if F4 and then once you once you push or take in the center, then you can also maybe free up the light square bishop if you can ever play E5 somehow
Right.
remove that blockade, then you're freaking golden.
and no, as far as I know, Neil, the puzzle isn't rated. At least in this course, there's no rating listed, so I don't know what a rating level would be.
Yeah, I guess I gotta think knight G3.
Yeah,
Should I-
with the
should I
hint,
play
think
it?
That's probably correct.
Now after
Yeah.
that hint,
Yeah.
look at you, Drew.
Good
job. All right, knight G3 brings the piece into the game, gives E4 support.
That's sort of like the simpler solution. And maybe it's a good lesson for us and players of our ilk. Like, I think sometimes you try to make it too complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the real positional thing I wanted to take away from this, and I'm not sure if it's what someone's trying to say, and he never talks about this, so I don't know. Oh wait, there's a correct thing. Okay. But okay, so the thing I was looking at again, the big thing for me is those rooks connected can see all the openness on B and C with any sort of challenge with the pawns coming up over there. Like they're just like, oh, hello, thank you. Like
It's a good
we're
point,
coming
I
right in.
guess. Yeah, right. Because black has a lead in development, so maybe it's not. We shouldn't be looking for breaks yet. We should be looking to improve our pieces in other ways.
Yeah.
Instead of
That makes
opening the position.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry, I'm breaking stuff. Sorry, I was trying to see if I could get the text up there.
Yeah.
This is good though. I like that there were lots of different ideas in the chat between us.
Well, these close positions are it just goes to show, like, just these are so hard to play.
Yeah, I know.
Even when you think you have a good one, like, I think that's what is like weird about, like, the King's Indian looks so good for white, but it's not always like so easy to say what your plan is. It looks good to me anyway, optically. It always, but yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
see. Yeah. Okay.
Let's
We
just
do
start.
another-
So I tried to pull some text up. So if anybody wants to read it, just in chat or
Mhm.
on the stream. Sorry.
Do we want to do one more and then we'll go over to the games?
I don't know. Yeah, definitely will do the next one, I guess.
For sure.
All right. See, it's weird then because this is like an end game position now. So how are they organized? Like, what are they? Is it you said by player or
No, I mean it's just random stuff. Like
uh,
we just so happen to be in a Karpov series right now.
Yeah, they're
Gotcha.
groups. So it looked like there was some introductory things, and then after that, they're kind of grouped by like I don't know if he picks 5 or 10 games by Karpov, and then it looked like Fisher has a series next of all just some
He had
kind
a
of
series
positional.
from like he had a series from
Gotcha.
junior tournament. He had a series where it was just like we're playing the Karo Khan, and like these are some common Karo Khan positions. And now I don't know. We're just
gotcha.
gonna read this one,
Gotcha.
Derek.
Yeah. So this one is black to move. Whoever's at the bottom. Black is in big trouble. He actually went on to lose this game since his pieces aren't anywhere as active as white's counterparts. Black's pawns are also vulnerable and ready to fall. How should he defend in this situation? Karpov was superb in the endgame, and most players would fail to hold slightly inferior positions. Portish, a seasoned veteran of the World Championship cycle, showed that he was a little different than anybody else. He also failed to hold on to blah, 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 blah. Black's pieces are passive, and his pawns on A6, B6, and D6 are all weak, and Black will almost certainly lose one pawn. Is he just lost, or can he find some way to put up real resistance? The key to his defense resides in the fact that the bishops are of opposite colors.
Right. So I think it's okay if we lose a pawn.
That
And
means
that-
we want to trade rooks, correct?
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And you want to monitor maybe which pawn you lose or which pawn you allow white to advance, right? Based on the color of the bishops, possibly.
Maybe.
Well,
But we're supposed to find a move that Portish couldn't. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, we have to be.
I just want to
better
give
than
Moobot a shout out because that was perfect timing for it, throwing in the unlimited videos, lessons, and puzzles into chat. If any of you aren't
ready to
Diamond
play
members
better
and
than
want
a
to have
GM?
unlimited puzzles, make sure to use the Dojo affiliate link where we get a little kickback.
So, oh,
All right, so as of right now,
it's hard.
Whites could win another.
well,
pawn.
they probably will, right? That's kind of the point. It's just a matter of holding on with that.
Our pieces are bad-ish. Like our rook is undeveloped. Our bishop
You-
is in play.
So what about like a bishop? A plan
B5
of-
was what I was looking at too. Yeah.
Oh, playing b5. I was thinking like, what about playing bishop c6? And then if he no, because he
And if
takes.
he takes one to play rook a8 or something,
Yeah, but then
he just
but
takes
then
a beat.
but then he just takes the b pawn exactly. Yeah.
B5 instantly looks really strong because
Yeah, B5
you're-
kind of does it force him to
Or-
try to.
because then if rook takes, then you take on C, and then your bishop comes in.
What if he
Yeah,
does-
Oh,
he
but
wouldn't
no, wait,
take,
wait,
though.
wait,
I
Your
don't-
D pawn is hanging.
What
You
if he
gotta
does
find a-
something else?
Yeah, but I don't think he would take right away, right? He would resolve the tension first. So he probably could play. He can play c5
That's a move.
C5.
and then
And then you're not.
takes
and then-
takes. You could get a passed pawn out of that. Some counterplay, maybe.
I mean, candidate moves have to be, a5, b5, or bishop somewhere, right? Or some type of crazy pawn move like, h5 or something. Like,
It's not even. Yeah, it's not even clear where we should even be trying to get our counterplay. Which side of the board? Because it looks like we have none. You have bishop. Bishop f7 attacking the C pawn.
That's a legal move.
And then that allows the rook to come somewhere.
If that looks like it just loses, yeah, we're just losing pawns all day.
Yeah, the rook would have to go somewhere passive to defend. The rook would have to go to like b8 to defend. And
Yeah.
that's probably bad.
No, B8 is, wait, hold on. B8
Rook
is
B8,
actually
and then you-
okay because after Rook B8, then there's how are you pushing your pawns through there? You aren't. You're stopped up, right? Like even though he's a little inactive, the king can come in before the white king can get there in a way.
But he can
I
just bring his
think is that-
bishop. He can bring the bishop to d4 and attack, and just take your pawn anyway.
But bishop to D4, then you just play B5.
Play b5 and then he takes it.
Takes.
Can we do a
what?
concrete variation instead?
And then
of,
rook takes.
like
So
random
bishop.
moves?
Yeah.
So bishop
Go ahead, Drew.
F7. Bishop F7. Rook takes A6. Rook B8. Bishop to D4. But D6 is hanging.
Yeah. I mean, he
Oh,
also.
wait, no, but at the same time, even though D6 is hanging, so is C4. So C4 is also, so it's actually just a trade again. So actually, that might be okay. So you still lose a pawn, but how are you ever going to get that B pawn anywhere? Also, you're attacking that B pawn now. Well,
Wait, how is it a trade of pawns, Drew?
I mean,
So
I missed the first.
you're taking C4 and they're taking D6. You're losing
oh,
the A6 pawn.
After what moves?
So rook A6, bishop. Sorry, black first. Bishop F7, rook takes A6, rook B8, bishop D4, B5. Rook takes D6.
And then you take on the c pawn. But what if they take this? What if they trade the c pawn first?
Black had a
So
lot of
rook-
other moves too that we didn't think about.
Actually, as opposed to playing B5, you could
Yeah.
just do. Yeah.
Like for
okay.
instance, Black doesn't even have to play rook takes. If we play bishop F7, he can just play like king D6 or D3.
Mhm.
That's
Oh,
something to
yeah, you're
consider.
saying white
And
can. Yeah.
when white played bishop D4, he could have also played B5, and then with the idea of putting the bishop to B4, attacking the D pawn.
Right.
Like there's lots of other lines too.
Yeah, it's complicated for sure. Yeah, right. Yeah. White is kind of spoiled for choice.
I do like the idea of getting some activity because we're not like the hint says that opposite color bishops, perhaps we need to trade rooks, and currently we're in absolutely no position to trade rooks.
Right.
Um,
That's why, yeah, that's sort of why I was thinking like of a good square to move the bishop. And a square that like attacks something seemed
I mean, I
like
like bishop F7, but
yeah, but I
Um,
don't see
bishop F7, king D3, rook C8. We're happy there, probably, because he can't take the pawn because we fork him. Bishop F7, rook takes pawn. Then you wanted to do what?
You said rook
B8.
to B8.
Rook B8.
Yep.
What if he plays B5?
Bishop takes C4.
Okay, and then bishop B4.
Then bishop takes B5.
Yeah, okay.
um
I'm just trying to like come up with moves for white because like that's how you gotta
Yep.
you gotta
Right.
do puzzles.
Yeah.
Yep.
is it good is another idea for us just to try to facilitate pawn trades as much as possible?
Yep.
Probably.
Without giving him a pass pawn, probably.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, preferably.
But the thing is, yeah, I mean, A5, I don't like A5 because black just attacks A5 too much. I mean, there's 3 pieces attacking that. So Like, what are you obtaining?
Well, if we're gonna lose it anyway, we can at least take. We can
But you
trade it
can't
for a
even.
pawn.
You can't even. But you can't even take back. And then I don't
Yes, you
know.
can.
Black is so active.
If they
Well,
take on a5, yeah, you take.
I guess we can.
back.
Yeah.
You would take back. You would lose a pawn. But you haven't given them any pass pawns, so you got
Also,
that.
white. Also, white is incredibly more active after all of that too.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, we're
incredibly more
chasing.
active.
Well,
Yeah, I don't
pawn is
know.
over there.
I like a bishop move would be my instinct, but my instinct sucks. So.
we're getting. Yeah, PB's also saying
100%.
h5.
I'm 100%
H5 is like
putting
another
that-
idea, right? But that's
Mhm.
a whole different ballgame now, right?
Ooh.
H5.
like
I mentioned this
H5
move at the very
actually.
beginning, but
Yeah,
I don't
he
know
did.
why.
I remember that. You said like A5, B5, H5 are like all sort of ideas for
Or a bishop.
getting counterplay. Which makes sense.
I mean, I think we need to do some activity though. Like, I don't know, maybe H5 is an idea.
So H5, and then if they play
Rook takes pawn.
G5.
They just play rook takes pawn as first move.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so H5, rook takes A6, and then we still have the problem of the B pawn.
Yeah, I mean, our
But we could
claim
play
has to be that
B5.
HG is good or something.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. So then rook A6, then HG, but then G8 or then FG, and our pawns are all hanging still, right?
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, so I don't know.
But their E pawn is weak.
Yeah, maybe we get that one
Let's
back.
attack that.
So
I just-
bishop f7, I think, is looking the best so far.
Mhm.
What about king d3?
Sorry, I missed this. Did we refute H5 basically?
I mean, I don't think it's any good.
Yeah, we evaluated the position.
It doesn't come with enough because I think we play h5. He can just still play rook takes a6.
And then the
Have all
B8
that
is
problem.
threatened and you can't even protect it, right? Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
G5?
G5, h5.
Yeah, they just play H5, I guess, and then
Or-
we still
Yeah.
have to. But at least I don't know. Is that progress on any front? No, not really.
I don't. I mean, your king for one is gonna be worse now.
Yeah,
I like
Okay.
this bishop f7 the most so far. What are you guys thinking?
yeah. I think we need to get the rook out.
I'm 100% on bishop f7.
100% is a large number.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's kind of the highest
Like-
percentage you can give.
Like a 6-pack of New Galeris, like.
No,
Man.
I would bet it. I would bet a 6-pack of New Glarus on bishop
Yeah.
f7.
I've never even heard of that beer.
So
Yeah,
good.
I don't even know which one it is.
You guys have never been to the Midwest, apparently.
Midwest thing. I don't know. I was just in
Yeah,
Minnesota a
not
few
often.
weeks ago. But yeah, I'm not from there, so.
I mean, I like bishop f7 as well, Drew. I just like to calculate some variations and make sure that I'm not missing anything, you know?
Totally.
Unless there's a better square, unless like bishop d7 or c6 is better, but I don't see why it would be.
You're not threatening anything then. Like they're just moves.
Yeah, right. Yeah, for
You
sure.
don't always
But
have
you
to
know,
and stuff.
it doesn't always have to be a threat. But I'm just like, it might if that would be like a more active position for the bishop. Also, another possible drawback to bishop f7 is if you ever want to play king f7.
It cuts off the king from being able to get activated.
Presumably, we're going to move this bishop, though.
Yeah, I do.
Right.
think
The
moving
plan
bishop-
is that it will be there temporarily.
Sure. I
Let's look
agree.
for some-
I agree. But
Let's
you
look for
never
some
know.
moves for white that maybe we haven't considered yet. Like, assume bishop f7 for black and try
Okay.
to find some candidate moves for white that aren't rook takes pawn
King-
or king d3.
Okay, what else could black do, or could white do? White could
C5,
c5 loses a pawn.
but you're taking the pawn back and
Then they take the
I
a
don't know.
pawn.
Yep.
Yeah, but the a pawn's already like theirs basically.
Okay, yeah, King D3 is good to look at.
Well, we kind of looked at it. I don't see. Yeah, I don't see anything else reasonable. I guess you could You could try to push on the king
What
side.
about
You
the
could
B
play
pawn? What about B4?
b4. Yeah, or I meant. Did I say king side? I
I
meant
guess they
queen
can just play
side.
A B.
Yeah.
Isn't B4 the first thing we looked at? We didn't find anything too happy
B-
about it.
No, I'm saying for white in this position after black plays bishop F7.
b5?
Oh,
mean?
no, then well, yeah. If you play B5, then just bishop takes
No.
C4.
Oh God, I'm so bad at
And then
coordinates.
B
Sorry.
takes A, and we're gonna queen or something.
No,
Yeah.
then just rook A8, and then you take the pawn.
But the rook's there.
Or the king can come over then, and take.
I'm just coming up with ideas here, man. Like
Yep.
I'm not
Yep.
saying they're the best. Like
Mhm.
I
Right.
think I don't think Stamen, it doesn't refute it because it doesn't, we're sort of having to admit that black has a worse position here, so we know no matter what we do our position is going to be worse. We're just trying to look for the best defense. So so king d3, because after bishop f7 our idea then is to bring the rook into the game. So and after king d3 we theoretically could defend our a pawn, although that's pretty passive and maybe a fool's errand. But
I like some of the ideas we have. Do we want to check the hint, or should we try out bishop F7?
Let's do it.
yeah, let's
Incorrect.
Oh,
Eh,
so much for my
What
100%.
does
There
it
goes-
say? Can you read
there
that?
goes your
Bishop
bear.
f7 is the move that
Double
Portish
Ooh,
played in the
six
actual
pack.
game. However, it is not correct, and Karpov slowly whittled him down with rook takes a6, king. Sorry, wait.
yeah, rook b8, which
Rook
was
takes,
our,
I missed rook b8.
our line.
Rook b8 was what we were looking at. King d3, h5,
B5, X clam.
h5 and carve up
Well,
the
for the opponent.
Karpov's so
sorry.
White
patient.
B5,
yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
King
yeah.
d3 is like such a patient move. It's so nice. So
Okay.
Man, I should have bet you, Drew. Damn.
All right. You would have gotten a 6-pack of beer you don't like.
I mean, I'm not too picky.
yeah, right. There's lots.
All
of
right. Should we hit the
out
hint?
there.
See what they say.
Let's get a hint now. Yeah,
Since we
Yeah.
were wrong.
correct.
All right. The hint. In general, the side with less material is happy to trade as many pawns as possible. This gives him less potential targets to worry about and less baby queens to keep an eye on.
So G5? No.
I think a5.
A5, B5,
A5.
H. Yeah, those types of moves.
All right.
One of those, right?
Or b5.
I like A5 better than B5.
Do you?
Yep.
Yeah, b5 was the initial.
Although I don't know.
Probably
No.
A5.
Yeah, b5 does give b5 because then they get the pass c pawn, right? b5, c5 takes, and then their c pawn is
Can you say that again?
so
B5.
b5, c5, d
Oh.
takes c, b takes c.
Yeah. Okay.
But then we have pass pawn too, so counterplay, I guess. Yeah, and our a pawn's gonna fall either way.
I think getting rid of our A pawn on our terms
yeah.
would be one of the ideas here.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the what are they playing rook takes? Are they playing bishop takes? Are they playing rook takes? And then
I think you would so a5, b takes a, b takes a. I think you would take with the rook.
probably, right?
Yeah, seems more active there. The bishop seems less active there. So
Then we have like a tempo to play king f7 and then like king e7 to protect the d pawn. Like, what are we doing?
yeah. Right. Yeah, because he's got the row of pawns to attack. So a5, b takes a, b takes a, rook takes a5, right? So now the rook is on a5. Then
Sorry,
I
I was
like king
muted.
F7 then. I like
Now
king
bishop
F7.
f7 maybe. Now
Sorry.
bishop f7, and then if rook and then if rook a6, we can maybe play. No, I was gonna say
Why not?
we
Why
could-
not king F7 first with the idea of king D7 next?
king f7.
That's
king
what I was
saying.
e7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then
It's
if the
just
rook
like we need to
and then if
develop
the rook
features.
tries and then if the
Damn.
rook tries to attack, then you could just have the bishop, rook to a7 check. You just have bishop to
Oh,
bishop
man.
to to d7.
That position seems like you're playing down a rook to me, but
Well, no, your rook is now could now come out through the 8th file. You could actually go rook c8.
rook is on c8, or no, it's on f8. Sorry, yeah, rook c8. Yeah,
Stupid.
sorry. After the
coordinates.
bishop move, moves.
Exactly, protecting the king and you're defending your d pawn.
So, but you have to play 2 moves, right? So you play king f7, king e7, then bishop f7, then rook c8. Isn't he
Yep.
Isn't he taking a lot of stuff in that?
It seems
Taking
like
what?
there's a.
Wait, what is he taking?
He's taking your d pawn.
No, because a5.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, because the king will defend it. Okay, and then
Right.
Annie has no passers. All right, Drew. I
What's
like
going
it.
on in the chat here.
Sorry, that line was starting with a5. Is that what you said?
Mhm.
a5, b takes, rook takes, king f7, king e7, rook a6, king e7. If rook a7, I don't know, bishop to d7, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable-ish. It's just so slow and like black's not getting any of their development problems out of the way, but maybe it's okay. It's
But
just
there's no at the end of the day, there's no passed pawns, and the king has become activated.
yeah.
And
I agree.
we do want to trade pawns, so
I like this move.
it's a good start to that.
I bet you a 6-pack of
process.
Stone IPA.
I want in on that. Let's do a 12 pack. Send me 6.
Mhm.
So, are we leaning towards a5?
So you can't buy beer on Amazon yet.
Let's do it.
All right.
You can hear
Yeah,
in
a5.
Richmond.
Oh, really?
A5 is the correct answer.
Nice.
Woo! Go team.
Hey, Tiago, we're doing some lessons right now, so nobody's playing you currently. Just FYI.
Yeah. You know,
If you want to play some games, go over to the Discord. There's plenty of people over there that love playing chess.
Yeah,
Or-
can find
or
some
you go
training
to,
partners.
you go to this.
Oh, yeah.
You go to chess.com and then you hit play.
Or you go there. That's a good place.
Yeah, you don't even have to donate like 1 bit at a time or anything. You can just
You can just play. It's
yeah,
great.
free.
Hey, Amanda, by the way. And hey, to everybody else that was like joining. Sorry.
What up, chat?
So
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna wrap
A5
the
was
lesson.
right.
I will be right back.
Yeah, no problem.
Love it.
I'll read off. A5 shows that black accepts the loss of the pawn and immediately begins trading off his potential targets. After B takes A5, B takes A5, Rook takes A5, Bishop F7. We were all on that line.
bishop f7. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, black hopes to exchange his weak D pawn for white's weak C
they
pawn.
go for an exchange. So the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
king,
yeah.
the whole king f7 idea wasn't right.
For white c pawn. Oh, but how? But how?
I mean, it doesn't tell us
because
how, he just says that's the
because
goal.
if rook takes, then bishop takes.
Yeah,
If
right,
rook takes
right.
d, yeah.
C6, then because the bishop hits the pawn, right? And if he plays c6, then you take it. Either way, it gets exchanged.
Is
Yeah, I don't
there a
actually
reason
play
that we
games. I
is
just do
there-
puzzles the whole time, PB.
But he could play king
Is
d3.
there a reason that we like that move better? Like doing that? Oh, I guess because we are exchanging.
bishop
now,
f7.
and
We're trying to
get
we're trying to
exchanges.
trade pawns.
Yeah, because then they said once we
Right.
trade all those, then black should be able to hold the resulting rook, bishop, and 4 pawn versus rook, bishop, and 3 pawn endgame due to the bishops of opposite
Especially-
colors.
Right, and especially the weak pawns, right? We got to get rid of the weak pawns. And so if we get rid of all the pawns on the queen side, including the D pawn, right? If we trade all that off, even if we lost the pawn, we have like one nice solid pawn island. And like they say, you can fight 3-on-4 in an opposite color bishop.
You can do even more with an opposite color bishop. I've been down a pawn and just like, or up a pawn and nothing happens. Draw.
Right.
draw,
Yeah,
draw.
exactly.
Like,
Exactly. But the point is like they're, like, yeah, the pawns can if you just have weak pawns and it's the pass pawns that become dangerous.
Are we trying to figure out what the lesson of this lesson was?
Yeah,
I'll be right back too, by
exchange
the way.
pawns in bad end games. I guess.
Yeah, if we're gonna lose the pawn, we should lose it on our own terms. This gives them no pass pawn opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
What was the
Right.
line? Was the line what we considered?
So so it's b takes, rook takes, and then bishop f7. So
We're
if
seeing a trade again.
so if they do
That was
go
the point.
after our d pawn, we can exchange. We can try to trade the d pawn for the c pawn, basically.
I see. Okay.
And then it's just a 4-on-3 and an opposite color bishop ending.
Actually, then if they play rook a6 while our bishop is still on a f7, we could even play rook to d8.
Yeah,
We.
that's an option.
Yeah.
That looks pretty tasty.
Let's see
Cool.
how chat's doing. I've not been paying attention at all.
Oh, they're just
Let's
talking
see.
about Amanda playing chess.
Amanda,
Oh,
you
that's
played
good.
what kind of game? What was the time control of your game, Amanda?
She played a 51 move game where she had mate in 2 on move 34. She said
Oh,
that's not
15
efficient.
It's a classic.
It's not efficient. That's funny.
Yeah. It's all good though. You won, I take it, at least.
All right, what I miss? What are we doing? What's going on?
Nah, you know. some
Oh,
real
you know,
excitement.
Amanda's just winning chess, the usual.
We had lots. Yeah.
Yeah, she does that. Ever since she
Mm,
got those magical horse head powers, she's been unstoppable.
mhm. Yeah, you're welcome.
Hey, K Pooch.
Yeah,
Did I
I
say
think
that
that's a good. That's a reasonable lesson statement. I think it's a decent summary.
Do we want to do another one? Do we want to transition to something else?
I don't know. I'm having fun, but we can do something else. Whatever.
Yeah, what do you guys think? You want to play a game? Do you want to do more lessons?
Is the plan that we were gonna do just like straight up games and with commentary? Was that kind of the discussion about the
Somewhat.
gameplay?
I mean, this is the Scrubs. We don't have much of a plan.
I mean, the
Right.
thing I suggested was, two of us play each other, and then the other two do commentary on the game.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are good. I miss those too.
Yeah, that's
So.
You
I'm,
want to try
also
that?
I'm having a good time with these lessons because I learn as well. I just don't know if the chat's kind of bored listening to our nonsense.
Yeah, chat. What do you
Um,
think? More lessons?
Should we do
Or
a
games.
poll?
Analysis likes it.
Let's run a poll.
I don't. Oh, Derek can do that. Yeah.
Let me see. I never set up polls. So let me see.
Oh, people's learned about our channel. Came to Scrubs. Nice. Well, welcome.
Yeah, if this is the
More
first time
lessons.
here and you're watching us, understand that there's generally stronger players and better content going on than what we're doing.
Yeah. This is
We're
the
Scrubs.
this is every man's dojo and
Every
it's
man's
like-
chess.
Yeah,
by the
it's
way,
like, yeah.
By the way, about the festival, I think you all would like to hear. I was at this festival
I'm glad you
in
like it.
Mexico
Tom.
this weekend, and somebody pulled out a chessboard, and they were just playing there right by the music. And suddenly, like 5 people just sort of like started scrambling around the board, like staring at the game. It's so funny what's happened post COVID. It's just like
Nice.
we're at a music festival and everybody's like, I want to go look at the
A
chessboard.
music festival. I thought this was a musical festival. It was like another opera game situation.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
That
good to
was-
hear, K Pooch. Welcome to the dojo. So I heard you guys were talking about it. Sorry, I was setting up the poll. So you just heard about the channel today. Well, just so if anybody is new, we are not the normal streamers. We are the Scrubs that come in on Sunday. So normally there's much higher quality teachers here, but so we try to do what we can do.
We make no apologies though. We talk Will Smith. We talk
Lessons 1, by the way.
TLC. What else have we talked?
We've talked OTB.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Now
All right,
we're
so
looking
lessons
at
1. The people have spoken.
now I'm
they
looking
like
at
lessons.
Derek's Spotify. Yeah,
Sadly,
all
so
right.
so while I'm throwing in some music as we get into the lessons, so sorry to you guys can't hear it, but so we're gonna be doing more lessons. How about
Oh,
that? Look at
man.
that.
Would you say that we're gonna get jiggy with them?
I'm gonna say we're gonna get
Yeah.
jiggy with it right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
You're not gonna do that?
No.
Alrighty, I was able to get that
You know,
in
to
before
each
the
their
kids
own.
took,
Wait,
Keep
so
took over my
how did
Spotify.
Will Smith even come into the like realm of scrub conversation?
yes.
I don't
Drew,
understand
you weren't
why you
there.
need a reason to talk about Will Smith. He should just be on the. He should be a subject of
Um,
conversation almost at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna refute
Independence
that.
Day. I remember.
I love Independence Day as a kid. I had that on VHS.
I remember
times.
Independence Day.
I love Independence Day
think
as a grown up.
I saw it. I saw it on on the big screen, the what was called the big screen, like in Denver, like at the theater near my house. And yeah, man, I saw Independence Day on the big screen when I was like 7 years old. That was
Me too.
like the coolest thing that could like ever happen in the world.
Release me. It scared the hell out of me.
Oh man, just like yeah, when the lasers explode all the buildings, and you're just like whoa, special
When Randy Quaid flies up into there, when Bill Pullman gives his epic 4th of July speech,
Yeah.
it's classic.
Anyways,
Yeah.
You know, fun fact: Bill Pullman's son was in college, was at Virginia Tech when I was there, so people used to see him occasionally at a restaurant. I sadly never got to see him because I would have tried to probably recite the entire speech to him, but
they would see him. Wait, people would see him at a restaurant.
yeah, in Blacksburg, where Virginia Tech is, his son, I think it was his son, yeah, went there, so he'd be.
Oh, they would
he'd
see
come in
Bill
to visit.
Pullman.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
thought
yeah,
they
yeah.
were- Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Well, next puzzle.
Okay. Well, the people spoke.
Anyway.
They want more lessons. So we're going to move right on. So this next is Karpov versus. Never seen this word before. Vaganian.
Shouldn't he
Anybody?
have gone to? Sorry, I had to remember this to look. I had to look up this joke. I'm sorry to use our time for this, but shouldn't he have gone to Washington State University? That's
Wait,
in,
why Washington
Pullman.
State?
It's in Pullman, Washington. I remember that Pullman was the name of some college town, but I couldn't remember where.
Oh, I didn't even know. Yeah, Washington.
That's
Yeah, Washington.
just terrible.
All right, thank you. Continue on.
All right, guys. I'm just gonna end the show. We're
Go
done.
on with
And when you have to
Chloroquine.
look, when you have to look up a joke, you just know, like,
Yeah,
just,
I know.
just come on, man.
All right. Anyway,
Okay, so this one.
I can't believe I couldn't remember it off the top of my head.
Now that we're back off of the Will Smith, but we'll bring it back up. Don't worry. I'll bring Will Smith back up. White to move. This position appears to be very complicated. To many, it is not. It may not be clear who's better. How can White clarify this question and demonstrate a clear plus? Black is a pawn up and threatens to create a very dangerous passed a pawn by queen takes a2. White has his own ideas, of course. The pawns on d5, f5, and h6 are all edible, and the black king is far from safe.
I did just want to say though that if Will Smith comes up again, I'm moving out.
It was like a Billy Joel reference.
Yeah. All right.
White to move and demonstrate a clear plus.
Yeah.
What's
considering
up,
we're down a
Savage?
pawn. But I guess we're just gonna take all of Black's pawns. Is my thought.
I mean, it'd be nice if we could mate him, but Rook, D3 has some serious problems.
Man,
So
I
do
hate
that.
queen end games.
Yeah, that just loses on the spot, right? To check.
You would think. How does he?
Yeah, that hangs a rook. You lose a rook.
Yep, Queen
Um,
B1 is pretty solid
so-
move there.
Hmm. That looks like a blunder I would definitely make.
Oh, 100%.
I'm like the thing I'm really liking is queen just takes f5 because you're protecting the b1 square, and there's just seems good positionally. I don't know.
I would. What about rook d5? I don't know.
I just don't like giving the queen any kind of initiative. I don't know. I'm just talking about positional feelings here.
Feelings.
Like,
Fair
it's not deep lines, but just
Feelings.
positional feelings. Yeah. But like also not only do you threat protect or attack B1, but you also like you can now play rook to D3 in the future because the rook's protected by the queen.
So what makes taking f5 better than taking h6?
Because I like that diagonal. I'm looking at B1 and I'm looking at D3.
Okay.
Because what do you want to follow it up with, Drew?
Like rook to D3.
Rook d3. Oh, you want it and it defends.
But
You
the
wanna
queen's
coordinate-
now defending the rook on D3.
See
It's
what
also
you're
not mate anymore, though.
What's not mate?
Rook G3.
But it's a check, and then the queen can take on it and like can do other things. You could even look at a skewer. Like if the king moves, then you could skewer potentially or something. I don't know. Like the rook over on A8. I don't know.
Yeah, but the king could go to f or to h8 or h7, or not h7, h8. But then you would have check, and then yeah, I guess you would have
Mhm.
mate. So yeah, then you could maybe play queen h8, right check at some point if it goes the other way, and then take the rook in the corner.
There's also, if we're going to go along with Drew's move here, this queen f5 move is we're also threatening rook b1 to take b7,
Ah, yeah.
which is another idea. Because to me, like in this position, the main number one feature of black's position is a weak king,
Mhm.
followed by an inactive rook.
Yeah.
And we have some weak pawns on the queen side, but if we can do things that make that irrelevant, then that may be a way to victory.
Right. Yeah, I agree that like I want to take a pawn, but I want to take one that like leads to us being able to attack the king. So, it's like whichever one does that the most.
I think the queen. I think it's more important to figure out how to make your rook stronger than necessarily attack the king, because black's going to find ways to defend its king with queen takes c3. The queen's coming in and
Are
it's going to
rooks-
create defenses.
No, I don't. I disagree. I mean, I think
Like queen takes queen takes h3. Now what is your queen able to attack? If queen to g5, then queen to g7, queen blocks at g7, and you're protected.
So
what? Then we would trade queens and take all their pawns.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
take all the
rook
pawns,
isn't active.
I
If we
mean,
took
the
on
rook- the rook would be
h6
active in one move. I would like. It's only a move away from being active.
Well, okay, hold on. So that's a pawn that would trade a pair. So you're saying if queen took h6,
that is a clear plus.
queen took h6, queen to
Queen takes c3.
c3, queen
Mhm.
g5, then queen,
Queen g7.
then we take trade queens,
Okay, king takes
take-
g7.
Wait, I
then
missed
take
queen
on
g7.
d5.
Rook takes d5. Then, oh man.
And then you're gonna take
Oh,
f5,
then you have to play f4.
f4.
Yeah, no, this is bad. Okay, maybe this is bad. You're
I don't
right.
know.
Oh,
I don't know.
interesting.
But a black would be up. Wait, pawns are even there because we took 2 and they took 1,
Oh,
and then we would take the
queen
rest
takes
of their-
queen takes a2 is interesting. Yeah, because you create the passed a pawn. The rook doesn't even need to be
Ah.
active. If the other rook tries to start doing
then it's
stuff,
just behind a pass pawn.
then just a4, a3,
I don't even know what first move you guys are talking about.
Is this after queen
takes
h6?
Yeah.
So if they took a2,
Queen
then,
takes h6.
Mm-hmm. Queen a2.
I don't know. Queen g5 is still there.
Queen g5. King f8. Oh no. Yep. Actually, because you don't have the skewer anymore because you're on g5.
Rook. You could bring rook to e1.
Okay. Then
Yeah, maybe.
queen to d2. Queen to.
I don't know
e2.
why I'm still going with this. I'm not even like married to it.
Can we go back and look at queen f5
Yeah, let's look at that.
Because I want to figure out what Black's best move in that position is.
Queen f5.
Because I
Okay,
like this one because of Rook b1 and Rook d3 as potential moves to get some more activity. So I want to see if Black has something here that's strong.
So you like after Queen f5, you like swinging the rook over? Is that what you were saying?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's a possibility.
That's one of the ideas, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see if Black has something to shut that down.
Well, I think Queen c6 probably is the most. It would be my first thing I would look at for Black after Queen f5.
Queen c6. Wait, hold on. Do you have
C3,
your coordinates right?
C3. Yeah. Queen c3. Yeah, I do have them messed up
X is
as
3,
always.
F is C. 1 is 8.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Queen
gotcha.
f5, Queen c3,
There
c3.
you go.
Yeah, I do like all kinds of like different transformations. You can figure out which transformation I did when I say the wrong coordinate. All right. Yeah. So
then we need a strong move for us. There would probably
Queen
be...
is Queen d3, or I'm sorry, is Rook d3 strong there? Comes with tempo, but then they have Queen check. But I don't know.
I don't think the check doesn't do anything. We
Actually, it would if it's Queen takes Queen a1 check, just picks up the a2 pawn.
But then we're playing Rook g3 and we're mating.
Yeah, they have bigger issues than that pawn.
That's a pretty big issue, mate is.
Yeah.
Or
It
I don't.
kind of sucks to get mated.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not quite mate, but it's close.
It's scary.
It's scary.
But scary isn't good enough. Like.
Yeah.
Isn't it pretty much it? I mean, I don't know how it's not like, oh, there's a skewer right there.
Yeah, there's no
Done.
way. There's no. Yeah, the king is way too.
That's over.
Exposed. I think you can instinctually kind of say that. Even if, I mean, I don't know. You're right. We should calculate it.
So Queen
Yeah.
f5,
What about Jordan? I just said it's kind of, it feels slow, but just getting the rook over where it can get over safer.
But why not? But look, we can't we do that same thing, Derek, while taking the f pawn?
The queen is ideally placed though, because the king can't move.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I don't know, but this is an interesting idea though. Rookie one.
Yeah, that's. I just saw them say that, and it seems like it takes stops. So I don't know if there's some place in the middle where Black can put a halt to that, but
like Rookie 1, we're threatening Rookie 7. We're also threatening Rookie 3.
Wow.
Just taking the open file there.
Oh, I love this waiting move.
Taking the open file.
Yeah.
Idea.
In a very dangerous position.
And it seems
okay.
Like this
rook,
move
okay, so Rookie 1, Rook c8.
Why Rook c8?
Threatening Queen takes c3.
But he's ignoring our threat.
He already can take c3.
No, because the pawn's protected by the queen.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad. I'm thinking of that.
So all right. So Rookie 1. Sorry.
Rookie 1, Rook c8.
Rook
e3. E7. Rook e7.
Rook d3.
Rookie 7.
Rookie 7.
You're right. Or just Rook e7. Threatening.
Rook e7.
That's why I don't like this Rook c8 move.
Yeah,
it's ignored way too much. You need to respond.
Yeah, I feel like Black would have to respond.
I was just thinking about the rook coming over and being too slow, because then rook takes. But if the rook is coming over to e7, then yeah, that's an issue.
So Rookie 1, let's just assume that they're gonna Rook f7 or Rook f8. Excuse me.
Oh wait, hold on. Oh no, sorry, never mind.
Rookie 1, Rook f8. Do we win there still?
Rook f8 can't be great. I wasn't trying to rhyme, but let's see. Then I think our rook e3 plan is looking pretty good.
Well, no, I don't think it is. No, it's not, because if Rookie 1, Rook f8, We can't go
Queen-
rook e3 because then
Because
of
of
that.
queen, yeah, queen
Well, it's
f8 check.
protected there, Derek.
It's
with the pawn.
protected.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's not
Yeah.
threatening to take her
King
rook.
h2.
Yeah. King
That
h2.
pawn protects the rook.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that pawn.
Yeah.
Silly pawn. I forgot
All
about
right.
them.
Man, so scrubby.
That's what we're here for.
This
Yeah.
moves, like, if I had to guess, I would guess that this is correct because it's going on the same principle, like normal chess principles. Put your
Mhm.
rooks on open files. Like, we
Yeah.
don't need to be grabbing this pawn. Our queen is already well placed. It's protecting the c pawn. It's hammering down the king.
Right. Pawns aren't people. Rooks are people.
This is true.
Is that and
Thanks,
now
Groove
can
the
we say
Rook.
and wait
Exclaim
and
new
what
vid.
oh the other thing we just never considered was just rook takes d5 or rook takes d5.
We don't have to
considered
consider
it.
a different move for white if this one's unbeatable.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
should instead try to figure out like a refutation for black.
For black.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's totally true.
Like,
So let's bring we need to bring the queen back to the defense somehow. So I'm wondering if like there's like a queen d2 and bring it back. No, that's not a thing.
you're saying
um,
rook e1, queen d2.
Yeah, and try to
Sorry.
no, that doesn't do anything. No, because they still are. Yeah.
We're
Um,
trying to find a move for black after rook e1, Derek.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
I was looking at a line somebody in chat was saying.
Oh, word. What do they say?
Rook d2.
The rook d5 had come up a couple times. Sorry, so rook e1. So what's the move for black?
Yeah,
Queen a3.
queen a3. Yeah.
Nope, actually
Rook
that sucks
e7.
too. No, they have rook d. Yeah, just
Yeah, that's
also-
killer at that
yeah.
point.
I don't know. They have rook f8 there. We take the b pawn, I guess.
Rook f8. So
Rook
if they play that,
F8.
if they play, so you're saying in the line rook e1, queen a3, rook e7, rook f8.
What about rook f8
Yeah, but they're-
originally?
We also need. We don't even need rook e7. I'm high. You can just play like rook e3 or something.
Well,
Well,
what
yeah,
about just
yeah.
rook?
And their
But
pieces
what about
are
rook
going to be
f8
super tight
originally?
now.
What about rook e1, rook f8?
That was
Yeah.
I think they said
Rook
that
Rook
before.
f8. Yeah,
Then-
that was
then rook e3.
rook e3.
Then you're just mating
was-
yourself, right?
rook
Or losing
e3
your
was
queen.
my idea.
Rook d3.
Rook e3,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, that's just mate.
Oh, yeah, that
I
one-
don't
sorry.
see a good. Yeah, there's nothing to do.
Sorry, I'm
there.
just talking about the chat. I'd seen it. Saw it
Well,
before. I was
maybe
looking at it,
hold
rook
on,
d5.
hold on. So let me slow down a little. Actually, rook e1, rook f8, rook e3, king
Four.
h7,
Oh wait.
and then
Queen-
try to
queen
bring
takes-
the rook
queen takes
over
f5
to
check.
queen takes f5 is check, right? Yeah.
Oh,
so it
I
doesn't
just
even-
saw. I just saw a move for black actually. Rook e1, queen d2.
I said that.
Rook
Yep.
e3.
Yeah, can't you
Rook
just still do
e3.
that?
Rook
Or
rook,
rook e or rook e7.
rook e3, but you're still not threatening anything because you could play a rook a6.
Rook
No,
is-
that doesn't work. Rook g3 still wins.
Yeah, because that's
yeah,
still
you
mate.
check.
Then
'Cause-
then
Ro-
king
Also,
that's-
rook
then
e7.
that's
king
mate.
f8. No. Oh yeah, that is mate. Oh nice.
Well, no, actually, no. It's technically not
Ooh.
mate because they could block.
Oh no, the queen's checking, not the rook.
You know, these lines are never going to be this deep.
Yeah,
It's
you're right.
just
You're right,
gonna be-
Drew.
It's got to be something like, oh, moving the rook to the open file, or
Rook e1 does almost seem like a tactic, like a puzzle, like solution, just winning the game.
Watch this, guys.
Let's look
It's
at the rook takes
unstoppable.
d5 line by the opponent. Oh no, we like
Nice.
it, huh?
I just went ahead and did it because it.
Very good chatter, whoever did that.
We kept on talking about that move forever.
Yeah. I was trying to go back and.
Good job to the chatter.
Yeah.
So I
but-
think we
remember
have
who it was.
like judging by
never
our
fu-
timing. I think we have time for one more puzzle.
Jordank. I think Jordank. I think was the first one to say it. That was a good move. Well done, Jordank.
what rook e1?
The rookie one. Yeah, I think that was the first one I saw.
I didn't see it in the chat.
Oh yeah, that's where. Yeah,
But
we're a team over here. So rookie one may seem surprising since it looks like white is greedier alternatives. However, most of those captures allowed black to set up a defense, blah, blah, blah. This kind of move is often hard to find, duh. In the midst of complications, white first stops enemy counterplay before proceeding with his own dark designs. So, what are the following moves?
So yeah, well, we couldn't find a good defense for black, basically. So that's why it makes it almost tactical.
it actually doesn't. He doesn't really give us a follow-up line.
There's no move for black. Like black is just hosed.
We
here.
couldn't
Yeah.
find any like
says
basically.
Rookie 3 is
Isn't
annoying.
it like forced mate basically at this point? Like
I think
mean,
it's got to be
no, you
rookie
can-
3 or rookie 7 are the move that's going to come.
Depending on what black does, yeah, they can't stop both.
it seems like forced mate. That's the weird thing.
This is white using, like, black has an undeveloped rook, and this is white using their rook.
Yeah.
When black has their pieces on the queen side doing nothing.
Right. It's like you're playing up a piece basically until black can, yeah, if you give black time, then they can they can
Yeah.
resuscitate their pieces. But if not, if you use the initiative, then you're just playing up material basically.
And queen f5 gives them time. So
You know
this
what's
is good.
It's so funny. Like these puzzles are so silly because like at the end of the day, the principle of what we just did was like what you're taught in every single class ever.
No,
Get the rook on the open file. And that was
yeah, but
like, that's what
you-
we did.
But that's like, but not like when it's not like get the rook on the open file instead of taking material. It's like it's still not obvious.
Oh, I guess yeah. It's just
Yeah.
funny that
It's just-
was the solution. Just yeah.
I see what you're saying though.
A lot of it goes to show that you can really kind of rely a lot of times on principles
Yep.
Mhm.
to help you.
Yeah,
you
you
don't
don't have to be some super genius, basically. You don't have to reinvent chess.
I'm no super genius, or are
Or-
I?
So looking at the time right now, I'm assuming this is gonna be the last puzzle.
Yeah, we can probably
So-
do one. Yeah, let's do one more. It's unless we just blow through it.
Yep.
That won't happen.
That won't.
All right, so
Right.
let me read this one. This one is says this is Ullman versus Karpov from 1976. Black to move. Chess is all about a game of creation of weaknesses, and this game is no different. Karpov, playing black, is famous for creating weak points in the enemy camp. See if you can figure out how he does it. Black has a solid game, but his pieces don't appear to be very threatening. White's pieces seem a bit more active, and he also enjoys 2 bishops. Does this mean that white stands better? No. In fact, the opposite is true. Try and figure out why.
It's gonna take a minute.
Yep.
So his black pieces don't feel very threatening. White's pieces seem more active, and he has 2 bishops. But does that mean he's better? No, because he already gives us that. The opposite is true. So why is black better here?
Mm-hmm. Karpov knew.
Yeah, that's a
My
hint right
guy.
there.
That
The
Karpov.
hint.
It feels like it's tactical, but that's funny.
If you
It's
know, you
interesting.
know. It's
It
like-
just feels tactical.
I mean, I'm looking at like the C file, right? I don't know what area of the board you guys are looking at, but I'm definitely looking at like the right-hand side area.
Hmm.
Wait, but wasn't this also about weakening squares around the king?
No,
Or did I mishear
No.
that?
general.
Just weaknesses in general.
Black, Karpov is famous for creating weak points in the enemy camp. So
So
So,
the,
like,
camp,
a
I heard
square to
king,
put a
that's why.
piece on is winning.
say again.
I said for Karpov, he just makes a weak square and puts a piece on it and wins a game. Like even
Right.
Well, if that's the trick, what's the piece that we want? What's their weakest piece? Let's look at that, like knight, maybe the knight on D. Well, obviously the rook on F8, but
Yeah,
maybe
that's why
the
I'm
knight-
attracted to trying to figure out how to get knight C5.
Knight C5.
You know, this is a nice place to live.
Ooh, what about E5?
it could
Yeah.
could get kicked.
E5 and B5, or
Thank
sorry,
you,
D5 and B5 both are like
Yeah, d5 and b5 are things to look at.
You got this, yeah, the action on the C file, like you said, exploiting this sort of X-ray situation or pin, I should say, whatever.
It also depends, like, there is we may need some sense of urgency because white could be crazy and play g4, kicking our knight, and then play bishop takes d6.
Yeah.
So,
If,
you know
if
what I'm saying?
that's-
Like,
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
imprudent?
g4 is just a little wild, but like that looks pretty.
Yeah.
Are we
concrete.
allowed to play G5 here?
I accidentally.
No.
No. You were trying to. You were trying to
mouse-
right click.
I mouse slipped
DM
on a
Hoki's
lesson.
fault.
Oh man. Well, you mouse slipped pretty well. I'll say that.
I was trying to right click. I don't even know what I was trying to do, but I played the right move by
You were
accident.
trying to draw an arrow.
So can you click away the little perfect box so we can look at this the board?
Yeah, let me. Well, hold on. I hadn't looked at the.
Wow, Derek, way to pull a Drew.
All right, pretend that didn't
A
happen, guys. Go
Drew?
back.
When did I do that?
Just rewind it.
When we were puzzling.
Oh, I guess
All
we
right,
did.
we
when I
didn't
did
see
it.
anything.
But the only time we got as far as we did was when I did no, actually that was not a puzzle so
Anyway,
consultation.
Hey, if
we
I
know the
mouse slip
answer.
into the correct move from now on, I'm not going to complain about mouse slips anymore.
You should just mouse slip against GMs more often.
every move a mouse slip.
So let's figure out why this is the right move, right?
Yeah. So we know
So-
the answer is B5 because of my expert skills.
So here's the thing: is B5 sort of provokes C5?
I mean, c5 really weakens d5.
Right, and so we're prodding a weakness there.
Do they push? What if they take? Because no, they can't take.
No,
anymore.
it can't
Crazy.
take.
can't.
Pin.
Um,
So we're
Oh,
exploiting a
dang.
pin. And otherwise, yeah, I guess they don't have to push though, because it
what
is
if they
sufficiently
play? What if
defended.
they play b3?
Yeah. B3. B3
Knight to
thing
B6.
does clear the B6 square for
Attacking
us.
again.
Yeah. That's what, 3 attackers to 3 defenders.
Yeah,
They
but we
also
also have
have
to
this G4.
consider what kind of pieces we're looking at.
Yeah,
There's
but
also
they can
d4 for
they
white,
can
if we care about that.
G4 for white, right? Which could potentially lose the E pawn. Although at that point,
I mean, I'm more worried about the e pawn plus the exchange.
plus the exchange, it would
mean-
lose the exchange. Oh yeah, because our rook is stuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the problem.
right. Yeah.
So b5.
B5. Okay, we have B5, G4. What would we do there?
Something really good.
Oh, no, because the bishop and what about
yeah,
what
then
about-
just bishop takes D6.
Yeah, I mean,
Pinning
we're losing the
pinning
pawn,
the
but
knight to the
that is-
rook. And
What
it's
a-
pinning the knight to the rook.
what about yeah, no, I don't know, because like D5 is no good.
Yeah, G4 is really scary.
G4 is probably like punishable. Like that's a super weakening move. It's messing up the whole diagonal for the knight.
But
like,
you also are pinning the knight to the rook, which is, and those two, like that whole position starts to get cramped for
Yeah, but
black too.
we'd have to
What
do
about
something
that?
more. We'd
Yeah,
have to
there's-
do something like knight takes d4 and then play e5 or something. You know, we'd have to do something more adventurous than retreating to e7.
Well, then and also if you played rook to C6, you just play C5.
I guess this is something we have. We always have knight takes d4.
Knight takes D4, it's defended.
Yeah, and same. Remember the first tactic?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there's a fork, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay.
No,
Eh.
because then, oh, wow, well protected. Dang. Ooh,
Yeah, you always have that fork.
that's good.
So okay, so G4 is something we don't have to worry about because we can do this.
Yeah, that's the trick. Um,
Unless I'm crazy.
no, because that's really bad for white if you allow that, because you would be weakening that whole light square diagonal that we have the long diagonal that our bishop is on, and yeah. Um,
So that's why we can do it. What if we just
Well,
did it?
it's still complicated from there, right?
it's still complicated, but that's
Yeah.
gotta be bad for
Okay.
white.
So therefore, let's look at something else for white. So B5, but then not G4.
I think
Something else.
B3 though was a reasonable move.
And then
Um,
Drew was suggesting knight B6 to add more pressure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sorry, you said what?
knight
Knight
B6.
B6.
Knight.
Yeah.
Which seems reasonable.
Wait,
Um,
and what happens? Oh, the only thing that I'm seeing then as a problem is that as soon as that knight moves, then white could actually just play C5 because the math works. I think
C5.
C5 after knight B6 pawn
we just take
takes.
that.
C5.
Oh,
We can
yeah.
still take it.
I guess
And
that's
we
true.
still get the D5 square if they play C5.
Trying to figure out what type of weakness we get if they play if they play B3.
B3, knight B6.
I'm not seeing a weakness quite yet.
We
What
could
if
take.
just took.
Yeah, if we take and take, but then we can.
Take with D or take with B.
Oh, we only can take with B.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Like how Derek has it.
Yeah, so B takes. Then we play. Then we tried to target the hanging pawns. Just try to pile up on those things. Get one of them. Yeah, then you have like Derek showing like D.
Then you
like,
can push though, can't you?
Then you could have like D5, and then you could. As soon as you make one of those pawns come forward, you can target the backwards one, right?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, but pushing that blocks out that bishop though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you actually. You know what? And then D5, we wanted to use that square. Or no. Sorry, I need to reset the board in my head a little. Sorry.
Take on F3 here and then take on E4.
I would take on. Yeah, that's what I was just reading that comment, trying to figure out where that was.
Yeah, that's a move that crossed my mind too.
Take on F3 here. Take on F3. Why? Our bishop is incredible.
Yeah, just
And then just bishop takes F3.
yeah. I don't know
What is that?
does.
What's the point of that?
I mean, I guess it does. Does it weaken the strength of the protection on that C pawn? Right. And so maybe that means that.
What?
Well,
There's
because the
nothing
bishop's
attacking the
protecting.
C pawn.
A4 wins the pawn.
Oh wait, what?
Oh, I
Are we
see.
looking for a first move
No.
again?
Oh,
We
okay,
already know
okay.
the first move.
Yeah.
First move is attacking that. And then
Okay,
is this after
B5.
knight B6, and is this also after knight B6?
After knight B6.
So B5, B3, knight B6. I don't even know.
It's
what
White's
moves.
move. It's not even our move. But why? I
It's
still
so
don't want to
true.
take on F6 on F3.
Well,
Alright,
the
see you later,
whole point
Corporeals.
is no. The
Thanks for
whole
coming
point
by.
is that you have enough pieces attacking on C3 that you win a pawn. I think is the point. Unless
Uh,
they take with the G2 pawn, which has its own problems.
yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. So does that? It could win a pawn.
Right.
Maybe.
There's
I
something
don't
I'm missing here for sure.
feel like Jesse wouldn't approve.
Mm-mm.
Maybe this knight B6 is wrong. Maybe there's something else we can do, but I don't know what.
Yeah. Knight B6 seems supernatural, just improving that knight, but
Yeah, and we're threatening to go to A4.
A4, and if they ever
We
play
have to
C5.
we have to play takes first. C takes, or B takes, knight A4. Does that do anything? I don't know.
I'm also thinking though we can play at that point. We could try to put. No.
Wait, what is
We could
the
play
threat of the knight on
D5.
a4?
We could play D5 after that, and then we can play knight to. And then if they play C5, we can play knight to C4. No, we can't. Yeah, we can. Knight C4. No,
I was just trying to figure out what to do with your knight on B6.
no, you
Drew.
can't do that. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
You put a knight on B6, so I wanted to see where it could go.
Yeah.
Well, the idea is to just build pressure on the c pawn. Is the whole
They
whole
can play rook.
thought.
They can always play rook C1. They have the C pawn protected by 3 things currently. We have it attacked by 2.
Yeah. So yeah, well,
fair.
yeah, the knight could go to. It doesn't have to go to B6. Can also go to F6. And then I don't know, but yeah, I don't know the plan. Yeah, like we're trying to provoke a weakness, right? With B5.
The idea is to move to the knight to D5.
Knight D5 is but they don't have to give us D5. If they play C5, I agree that we get knight D5. But the only way to provoke C5 that I saw was to play D5, and then you can't play knight D5 because you have a pawn on D5. Oh, the pawn is duh, yeah. Thanks, none too smart in the chat. Yeah, we can always play knight D5 because the pawn is pinned until they move their queen.
Yeah, I mean maybe, and then like we can down the road target play A5 A4 also. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm having a hard time figuring out what to do after B3.
I like
where's-
knight
where's
B6.
E. Rosenberg?
So knight B6. Then what's White's move after knight B6?
Wait, well,
'Cause-
wait. What if we just originally did bishop takes f3 and gone with that line?
Well, we already
Right
know the
after.
answer. Oh,
Yeah.
so B5, B3, then knight takes, or then bishop takes.
Bishop
F-
takes f3.
so-
Relinquishing.
Jordan, what are we
Relinquishing.
doing with the knight A4 at the end of your line?
Okay, B5, B3, bishop B takes C4, B takes C4, knight B6, C5. Why would they play C5 though? C5 is okay, but fine. B takes, B
B6.
takes. Why the knight? Why would you go to A4 when you can go to D5?
I agree.
D5 is the square.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I would like to live.
Yeah, and at
D5
the
all
very
day.
least, we're gonna take their dark square bishop.
Mhm.
Like the worst if we get there.
I just don't know why they would play C5 there.
They wouldn't, but we can play knight D5 anyway, as none too smart points out.
I see. So we're just gonna play B5, B3, and
Knight
then
B6.
knight B6, and our threat is to play knight D5. And
So
then in order to do that, they'd have to stop that, they'd have to play something like queen D3 or something.
right, but then I think we can take on. Then I think we can just take it. If they play queen, if
That's
they
a
play like
Yeah. Okay.
if they play queen D3, we can just take the C pawn at that point.
Okay.
and
That
it's
makes
ours.
sense to me because they've always had bishop takes in these lines.
Right, but now the queen's in front of the bishop. Yeah.
Sorry, so what was that line?
B5, B3, knight B6. If they try to get out of that pin to avoid knight D5 with queen C6, then we have B takes C5, B takes C5, knight takes B5, and that's it. We win a pawn. And
We
that'd be
did
a
it!
pawn at that.
We got the pawn. Should we see what if he gives us a line?
Yeah.
All right, B5.
Let's see.
We got it right. Look at this. Places strong pressure against C4. It also makes way for knight B6, adding even more fuel to the fire. For example, B3, B takes C4, B takes C4, Bishop takes F3.
Oh,
Oh, they
Three.
throw. I hate that. Dang
Hmm.
it. I can't
Bishop
believe
takes
that was
F3.
part of it.
Knight B6 is strong for black.
So you throw in the bishop takes F3 first, I guess. Fine, if someone says it.
Yeah. So they said that, 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 that.
I don't know why you can't play knight b6 first, but you know.
Play
Before
Knight
the series
B6
got
here.
Oh, or yeah, no, yeah, I don't see what's wrong with this.
Because now
the
because
captures
now
are
white because now white could just play knight to d2.
Knight d5, still the threat. No,
Knight
knight
d5.
knight no knight d5. Yeah,
Knight d5. I don't know. Queen to d3.
queen to d3,
drops a bishop.
take the
Drops the
bishop.
bishop. Oh, nice.
That's
the
why I wasn't
tempo.
sure if.
So
Mm.
knight d2 is not possible because the queen would need to go to d2 or d2 or
But now this
c1 to
pawn is
defend the
hanging here.
bishop.
No,
Yeah,
no.
that's what the point is. Like
Yeah.
the best bet is you just lose a bishop instead of. I mean, sorry, you lose a pawn instead of a bishop.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Huh.
Well, I'm a learned man now.
We're learning.
Except,
I know chess
Except-
now.
except Silman says we should trade the bishop first, but so
It hurts me. I don't really like voluntarily giving up the bishop pair like that, but
it's on the long diagonal. It's exerting so much pressure. The knight's not doing.
See,
I
I
guess.
throw away the bishop pair easily.
But I guess the knight is an important defender for the knight's sort of gluing together a lot of things for white as well. So I don't know, but whatever.
I think that's going to be a wrap for today.
Yeah, I think so. My brain is just still trying to figure stuff out. Man, the positional stuff like that is tough for me.
I love this is like my favorite part of chess. So
yeah,
Thanks for joining.
This is what I really like too.
yeah.
Thanks for joining the show, Ringo.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having
Yeah,
us and bringing
thanks.
us to the lessons.
Sure.
We hadn't tried to approach this yet, so I think hopefully everyone came out with something. Everyone in chat and everyone by us. Hopefully we understand the roots of positional chess more.
Well, I
I
like
like how we themed ourselves into that knight takes d4 kind of like the forky stuff, because I think a lot of people, like even me, have started to learn not to fall for it getting forked, but to actually be able to use it in position, and seeing it from that side is pretty useful.
I thought there was
like
like a.
that.
I thought that was a command. Chess. Whatever it is. Well, if you like these lessons and you want more unlimited lessons, make sure to get a chess.com diamond membership and make sure to use the dojo affiliate link, which you can get in our Discord. If you use the exclaim socials, you can get it, join our Discord and all of our other stuff.
Woo!
There you go.
That's a mouthful.
that's the you should read the all the side effects at the end of the drug commercials, Derek.
And I mean, to be fair, I mean, Dritman coming from a completely unbiased opinion says it's worth the money. So go ahead and do that. Dritman said it.
Sure, and he has nothing to gain personally from saying that at all.
And here's
but
a
also
programmer
make
for
sure
Lee
nothing to
Chess or
gain, nothing to
something.
gain, but make sure you use the dojo affiliate link.
Yeah, he just works for like Lee Chess or something, right?
Oh, it worked.
It's not supposed to be beefed
Yeah.
out.
All right, well, I guess we'll call that. Thanks, Rengar,
Thanks,
again.
guys.
It's fun having you on. We'll have to have you back on. And any
Cool.
other dojoers out there, if you're interested in coming on and doing this kind of stuff, just let us know, and we're happy to have everybody on.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot,
awesome.
guys. Bye.
Thank you.